Have you noticed how weight loss often feels like a fierce battle between two opposite camps? On one side, you have the big believers in intermittent fasting. They skip breakfast, stretch their non-eating windows, and rely on black coffee to push past hunger pangs, convinced that this is the ultimate way to trigger rapid fat burning. On the other side are those who prefer a less extreme path. They still eat regular meals, enjoy rice, fruit, and dinners with family, yet they manage to drop weight steadily and keep it up. The interesting part, both approaches can produce results. Some people lose 15 kilos through fasting, but just a few months later, a good portion of them gain it all back, developing an unhealthy obsession with food along the way. Meanwhile, others who never fasted a single day end up leaner, stronger, and more energized. So, what does the human body actually need to shed weight? Is it fasting? Or is it simply learning how to eat right? And is intermittent fasting really the secret magic behind fat loss? To be clear, fasting isn't a new trend. For thousands of years, humans naturally went through long stretches without food, and our biology evolved to adapt to those periods. When you go without food for hours, your insulin levels drop, glycogen stores in your liver get depleted, and your body starts tapping into stored fat for fuel. That's why many people feel lighter when they start fasting. They, their bellies flatten quickly, scale weight drops fast in the first few weeks, and they think they have finally cracked the code. This initial rapid loss happens mostly because as your body burns through glycogen stores, it also sheds water weight stored with it. Losing 2 to 4 kilos right out of the gate is common, but after that initial drop, the rate of loss slows down significantly. Here lies a critical distinction that many people miss. Using fat for energy is not the same thing as long-term sustainable fat loss. Your body might burn a higher percentage of fat during a fasting window, but if your total daily calorie intake exceeds what you burn, that fat will just be stored right back. Fasting doesn't override the fundamental laws of energy balance. If you fast all day only to binge on fried chicken, sugary drinks, and desserts at night, exceeding your energy needs, you will still gain weight. Conversely, someone who eats 3 full meals without fasting can lose fat smoothly simply by keeping their total intake in check. This is something many online videos fail to mention, leaving people with the false impression that skipping meals automatically melts fat away. Intermittent fasting tends to work best for people whose natural lifestyle fits the pattern. If you naturally dislike breakfast, stay sharp on an empty stomach, and don't feel overly hungry. Fasting can be a convenient tool. It reduces snacking opportunities and makes managing overall calorie intake much easier. However, for others, it's a complete struggle. Skipping breakfast leaves them brain fogged, shaky, and unable to focus. By evening, pent-up hunger kicks in like a survival mechanism. You try to stay disciplined all day, but by nightfall, you find yourself raiding the pantry, eating uncontrollably, and then feeling consumed by guilt, blaming a lack of willpower. In reality, is often not a failure of willpower, it's pure biology. The human body does not tolerate prolonged energy threats well. When energy drops too low for too long, hunger hormones like ghrelin spike, making your brain hypersensitive to high calorie, high fat, and sugary foods. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's just trying to keep you alive. A common misconception in fitness is that the harder you suffer, the better the results. People assume that feeling constantly exhausted and starving is a badge of honor in fat loss. But your body doesn't measure progress by how much pain you endure. It cares about long-term adaptability. When people push themselves to extreme restriction, they often see quick initial results. But a few months in, their body fights back. They start feeling unusually cold, fatigued, irritable, and constantly obsessed with food. Workouts suffer, sleep quality drops, and energy drains away. Why does it happen? Because your body doesn't just sit back and let you burn through energy indefinitely. When intake drops too low for too long, metabolic adaptation kicks in. Your body conserves energy, subtle subconscious movement decreases, and hunger signals intensify. Your brain doesn't know you are trying to fit into smaller jeans. It thinks you are facing a famine. That's why most people don't fail at losing weight. They fail at maintaining it because you can't sustain a lifestyle you hate forever. That said, intermittent fasting isn't inherently bad. For many busy individuals or those who tend to mindlessly snack all day, it serves as a practical, structured tool to manage calories. Some studies also show it can help improve insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control for certain populations. However, it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Individuals with a history of disordered eating, pregnant women, or those managing specific medical conditions like diabetes should approach extended fasting with caution and consult a healthcare professional first. Now, let's look at the alternative, balanced eating. It might sound boring. No 20-hour fasting challenges, no extreme cleanses, just eating enough protein, prioritizing whole food, keeping calories at an appropriate level, appropriate, keeping calories at an appropriate level, sleeping well, and moving consistently. While it lacks the dramatic appeal of a quick fix, human biology actually thrives on consistency. Balanced nutrition keeps blood sugar levels stable, provides steady energy throughout the day, and prevents the extreme hunger cycles that lead to binges. If your goal is to get leaner while staying toned and strong, two elements are absolute non-negotiables: adequate protein and resistance training. What maintains a firm, sculpted physique during weight loss isn't fasting, it's muscle preservation. Combining sufficient protein intake with strength training, whether lifting weights, bodyweight exercises, or squats, signals your body to hold onto muscle tissue while shedding fat. This matters because muscle isn't just about aesthetics. It dictates the metabolic rate, physical strength, mobility, and overall vitality as you age. This is why two people can lose the exact same amount of weight, for say 5 kilos, and end up looking and feeling completely different. One might look smaller, but end up soft, weak, and tired, while the other looks defined, energetic, and fit. The scale number is identical, but the quality of the weight loss is worlds apart. Modern health science focuses increasingly on the quality of weight loss rather than just speed. Dropping 10 kilos while losing muscles, sleeping poorly, and feeling constantly anxious about food isn't a true health win. Someone who loses weight more gradually while sleeping deeply, training well, and enjoying meals with family is far more likely to maintain those results for life. Nutritional research consistently shows that when total calories and protein are kept equal, intermittent fasting and continuous calorie restriction yield very similar long-term fat loss results. The main advantage of fasting isn't a magical fat burning mechanism. It's simply that it offers a convenient way for some people to eat less food. The real question to ask yourself is which approach can you comfortably maintain for the long haul? Real physical transformation doesn't come from 2 weeks of extremely skip life. It comes from habits you can sustain for years. Sustainable weight loss isn't a war against fat or an exercise in self-punishment. It's about understanding your body's signals, building a balanced routine, and finding a healthy rhythm that works for your life. Note: the information in this content is for educational and reference purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you find this video helpful, like the video and share it to someone who needs this information. Hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss our next science-backed fitness insight. And if you want to learn how to care for your health using fully traceable, high-quality products while joining a community where we learn and grow together, join our proactive health community via the link below. I look forward to accompanying you on your journey.